The desire for fame with nothing more to it than other than a desire to be famous can only drive you insane.
The sun is shining, which is a really good thing because spring is back and I'm super happy about that. It's put me in a great spirit and a great mood. But it brought on all these questions, right? Everybody sort of wants to be famous, but nobody really talks about it because it sounds super fucking vain to say that you want to be famous. But a lot of people and celebrities have spoken out about how being famous hasn't really made them happier.
Does she really think that when CBS picked up the show, it left me with an inability to feel anything other than unbridled joy?
Why are you unhappy?
You lose sight of the people and the blessings that you have around you.
And you can see these examples everywhere. I particularly like Joe Rogan's point of view on trying to be famous because he puts more emphasis on trying to be great, trying to be good, than trying to get everybody's attention. And in a podcast, he made a really good point with, I don't remember who was talking with him.
Fame as an emergent property of doing something. Right. I don't define myself by the fame. I define myself by the work that created the fame.
Yes, yes.
Whereas if there's no work underneath it, it's, you only exist in so much as people are aware of you.
You exist in those moments when you walk into a room and everyone's staring at you.
For instance, the Kardashians, who have no talent underneath all that fame and who are just famous because they're famous. And so the only thing that sustains that is, a lot of self-centeredness. And that's something that's even more, worth talking about right now with all this stuff going on with Kylie Jenner, who, asked the public to fund her makeup artist or one of her makeup artists' accident. Essentially what happened is this guy had a need for surgery, something like $100,000, which is literally like peanuts for this woman who is a billionaire. And she gave $5,000 to someone she claims is a dear friend of hers, who spends time with her and that she knows. But instead of, just footing the bill, which is nothing for her, if I just repeat that again, nothing. She makes something like $450,000 a day. She asked other people to pay for it. And I'm not sure, I don't sit right with that. Not only are you rich for no good reason, other than your position, which was given to you by circumstance, but you're not even able to do good with that. And I'm sure some people are gonna be supporting her and throwing some kind of something my way. But just put yourself in the shoes of, imagine you were her friend and you believed that she was your friend and she told you that she loved you and she cared about you, whatever. And then you get into a life-threatening accident and she gives you $5,000 when her toddler is walking around with a $15,000 bag. That's not okay. And I don't think that's something that you can excuse. And I think that fame is a bad thing in that way because it gets to your head and it makes you forget your humanity. I don't know if you've watched The Vampire Diaries. I really love The Vampire Diaries, and there's this concept of switching off your humanity.
Turn it off.
That happens when everybody goes through a lot of pain and whatnot. But I think that you switch off your humanity when you forget about core values, the things that make us human, sticking together and having empathy and being a human and not a machine. But fame can be a good thing if you're famous for a reason, and that the reason is, skill, passion, involvement, something of a higher purpose, and there's a reason for you being famous. And if you're just famous for being famous, I think it's something that will get to your head and make you lose whatever humanity you got, because you know damn well that you being famous only hangs on by the thread of people giving a fuck about you, which is gonna run out, because if you have nothing special about you, how could you ever sustain that unless the people that follow you are stupid? And I highly doubt that millions of people can be dumb, and I know some people might say otherwise, but I have a lot of faith in people, and I don't think that you can sustain having nothing at your core and being a practical joke for that long. So yeah, that's it. That was my little piece of introspection for today, and I'm wishing you a happy springtime.